Hey Bayek, it's me Ian, and in today's video I'm continuing my look at the Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection, which I've got in a box set. And this is Rope from 1948. Now this is an interesting film, very interesting. I've got a few things you'll understand when I go through it. It is described as a psychological crime thriller. It's 88 minutes long. It's the first Hitchcock film in colour. Yes, so that's interesting. Now, Rotten Tomatoes give it 92%. Wow, that's massive. And for once, I'm kind of thinking, yes, why are you giving it such a high percentage? Because, yes, it's like, I think certain critics get dazzled and certain people by directors. It's same with Kubrick. And therefore, everything they produce, they just think is fantastic. Yes, no matter what. Yeah, they do. So I like to give it an honest review I'm going to give of this. So there we are. Okay. Now, it is based upon a play which shows very much from 1929 by Patrick Hamilton. And the story is by Hume Croyne, or Crone, I think, Croyne. And the screenplay is by Arthur Lawrence. And of course, it's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. And there's certain things about this, because I've mentioned that it's the first one in colour. This is also kind of an experimental film in terms of his direction. There's continuous filming for 10 minutes, then it's carried on, more filming for 10 minutes. He's shooting this film as if it's a one single view, following it around the camera. Everything is all done, and there's very few edits in the final cut, very few at all. And it's all done on a single set as well, which again adds intrigue to this. It's seen as an experimental thing, okay, and it's the saying, look, it's Hitchcock and what have you. Yes, as you might expect. That's it. So what I'll do now is just talk about the cast, and we'll go into a bit more from that. But the cast, this is James Stewart, who is now heading the cast as Rupert Cadell. James Stewart was to get quite a big association with Hitchcock after this, and produce some real good quality films. James Stewart was an actor who really developed a lot over his career, and it was quite really a box office draw. Films that he's really well known for, of course, is It's a Wonderful Life, which was a couple of years before this one, 1946. That really was such an established film for him. And then throughout his career, there's so many. Harvey is one that's often looked at as quite a very intriguing film from 1950. That's with the imaginary rabbit. Then we've got Rear Window, a Hitchcock classic from 1954. The Man Who Knew Too Much from 1956. And of course, Vertigo, 1958. What a film that is. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, That's 1962. That's with John Wayne. That is considered a really quality Western, that one. Very much so. And a film that I remember seeing as well, when I was young, was How the West Was Won. It's a massive film in terms of Westerns, 1962. He was in The Flight of the Phoenix, which is considered a really good film from 1965. He also was in John Wayne's last film, The Shootist, from 1976. I've only just scratched the surface. He's just got so many films that he was in. He's one of those Hollywood icons in terms of an actor. Then we've got John Dahl playing Brandon Shaw. The most notable film that I've seen was The Man Who Cheated Himself from 1950 and Spartacus 1960. Those were the two notable films that just stand out. Not a massive filmography, lots of other things, but not in terms of films. Then we got Farley Granger, who plays Philip Morgan. He was in a couple of films that stand out or so. Well, actually, a bit more than that. Strangers on a Train, 1951, and Hans Christian Andersen, 1952. But then there's a total change. So he had quite a long career. And the change is he was in So Sweet, So Dead, 1972, which is, yes, an Italian giallo film. Yeah. Very interesting career. And also, it was in The Prowler from 1981, which is an American slasher film. Yeah. Yeah, so there you are. You can go from all sorts. Then we've got Joan Chandler, who plays Janet Walker. Notice not the blonde lead in this film in terms of an actress, because really the women in this one are not really dominant as much. She was in Humanesque from 1946, which she was. The film was with Joan Crawford, but she only made 3 films. That's just one that stood out, including this one. So there's just one more film. And then that's it. Yes, I don't know what to make of that. But in television and other things, I suppose theatre. And sometimes they retire as well. They retire from, that's it. They just don't do any more acting. Then we've got quite a very seasoned actor who is Cedric Hardwicke, who plays Mr. Henry Kentley. Yeah, I think that's Kentley. He goes right back to the silent era, 1926. Yeah. But I know him. I thought I kind of recognized him and heard his name. He was in the absolutely brilliant sci-fi groundbreaking film Things to Come from 1936, which was scripted by H.G. Wells. I talk a lot about that film because I think it really is an all-time classic for 1936 as well. He's in that. He's also in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, 1959. Yeah, that's well thought of. Very well thought of film. It was in The Ghost of... Did I say 59? Sorry. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is 1939. Yeah, it's the oldest version with Charles Lawton. It was in The Ghost of Frankenstein, 1942. And he also was in the Alfred Hitchcock TV Present series of 1956 and 1957. So there he is. He has an association with Alfred Hitchcock through the TV. And yeah, he had a long career. And then we had Constance Collier playing Mrs. Anita Atwater. She went right back to really 1916, yeah, in silent films. Notable films for her was Damsel in Distress, 1937, and Whirlpool, 1950, a film noir film. And again, she had a massive career of say, films and that she was in. Then we had Douglas Dick playing Kenneth Lawrence. The most notable film that stands out for me, and it brought back sort of memories actually, was he was in Flaming Star from 1960, which was an Elvis Presley Western. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, Elvis Presley. I remember seeing it on the TV. He was in this Western. And yeah, he was in that. And then we've got Edith Evanson playing Mrs. Wilson. And she was in one of the TV's Alfred Hitchcock Presents from 1958. There we are. So that is the cast. And I think I'll just describe what this film is about, and then a bit more from that. It always has the look of a play because of the one set that it's in. It's two men attempt to prove that they can commit the perfect murder or the perfect crime, if you want to look at it like that. And it's done by, they strangle David, who's very much involved in, that they know well. They invite him on a pretext, and that's why they do it. And then this is where it gets a bit absurd. They decide to hold a party, a dinner party, inviting various people up, often related as well to the murder victim. And they place his body in the chest, and then on that chest, they put all the food and the candles, and they all have this dinner party around it. You know, you can't. I'm not making this up, but that's the plot. And what unfolds then is the sort of the James Stewart character, Rupert Cadell, is somebody who knows them. I think he was a kind of tutor to them at some time, and he knows them, and he starts talking about murder, perfect murders and all that, and they try, in a way it looks like they try to impress him, and that's what it is. And then it all unfolds and happens, and these other characters are at the dinner party, then they disappear, and you know, you're not on edge at all. People are saying this is an absolute masterpiece of a story, and we get the inevitable conclusion comes James Stewart, and it looks like a play on the stage, and that's maybe his deliberate direction, but you know, thank heavens it's only 80 minutes long. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what to make of it. I mean, James Stewart actually said that this didn't work. He was very skeptical about it. And, you know, when somebody, an actor of his stature, says that about this film, I think it's worth pointing. But as I said, the critics are falling over and over about themselves. And, you know, it's trying to put philosophy in. You know, you've got the Nietzsche references. You've got the undertones of a subtext, which in the actual play they were a gay couple of men having a relationship. In this, it's not really suggested, but it's there in the subtext. But it just, there's nothing really there to it, really. It's not a film that you would love at all. no, you can't love this film. I could. I'll be very happy to just seen it once and think, yeah, big deal. So why are all the people going mad about it? I don't understand it. I really don't. But people do because it's Hitchcock. Oh, I know. I don't want to go on, but yeah, I've seen it, and there's my review of it. Hopefully, next one will be much better than this. I'm sure it will. There we are. So, before I go, there it is. There's the box set that I'm reviewing all these from. There it is. Yeah. So, that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and then we'll let you know when I produce these videos. I'll look in the playlists and see what else I do. And if you like this video, please give it a like. It gets it out onto YouTube and algorithms and all that. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I really do love to read your comments. Fantastic. And it all costs note. All costs note. You can't say fairer than that, can they? Buy it, you can't. So that's it. So all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.